Hey guys, I'm Max Laferriere. I played Ghostface in Scream 6, and you're watching Craven Something Scary.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, visitors, subscribers, patrons, and Cravenites. Welcome to Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Well, guys, tonight it's a very, very special night, and we teased this the other night when this gentleman was in the live chat. And if you were here for that stream, you already know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, because we got some amazing exclusive images, and this is going to be no exception tonight. But he's here, not only in the chat, he's here on the panel as my guest tonight, and we're going to get a whole hour to chat with him. And he's been on a couple of times before, but it's been a little bit, and I'm so glad to have him back again tonight. And we're going to specifically be talking with him about his amazing collection of screen used memorabilia from Scream, the franchise, different films actually worn on screen. And also, he's been a consultant for Scream 4, Scream 5. We're going to get into kind of everything. We're going to get into everything. So I will say this: send in your questions for Nate now. If you have questions about Scream 4 and 5, and as he begins to talk about his collection, you're going to have questions that are going to come up. I tell you that. So send those in now. We'll get to as many as possible. Again, we have about 1 hour with Nate. He's gracious to spend a whole hour with us. But I know this, and you guys know this too. We won't get to every question. There's not enough time. But send it in anyway. We're going to go for it. But I will say this: if you do send a super chat question, I promise you we will get to your question before the stream ends. I will prioritize it. You'll move to the front of the line, basically, and I will get that question or comment up for Nate for him to address and talk about. And so we're going to do that. We're going to do it tonight. So that is a way you can do it, right? To make sure. Don't feel obligated, but you certainly can do that. And you help out the channel at the same time. It's a win-win situation, all right? So feel free to do so should you be moved to do it. But guys, I just want to say a blanket hello because we're limited on time. And I don't want I want to spend as much time with Nate as we can. So without further ado, I want to bring on my very special guest, who's just the coolest dude. And sometimes you may see him right here in the live chat. It happens quite often, actually. But tonight you're going to get to see him on screen. Please welcome my bud, Nate Ragon. What's up, Nate?
What's going on?
Man, I tell you, I've been looking forward to this date. I know we were talking backstage, and we had originally planned to get together like the week after Scream 6 dropped back in March.
Yep.
And due to my health reasons and things, just took an unexpected turn and wasn't able to do so. But this feels like a long time coming, but we made it. We finally made it. We're here. Yes, exactly. And I just have to say, man, before we get into, and I mentioned to you backstage too, and to the chat, we go unscripted. Yes, it really is. It's unscripted. Nate sent me a lot of amazing photos, and we're going to let Nate pretty much drive the ship tonight because I just want to hear everything he has to share. But I would have to ask you, man, really, before we get into everything, because we haven't talked about it yet. Tell me your thoughts on Scream 6. We haven't discussed it at all. So
yeah, that's true. We haven't. Overall, I really liked it. I definitely think it's one of the better sequels.
Okay.
Obviously, it has some issues, but hey, all the sequels really do. If you really want to pick them apart.
Yeah.
I really liked how different it was, setting it in New York. Ghostface being more brutal. Overall, I think it was really good. I'm kind of still going back and forth if I think it was better than 5 or not.
Okay.
It's time will tell.
Yeah.
My list of best to worst changes all the time. So
it does. Yeah. It's funny. And I always say it like when I talk about like when I'm ranking the franchise, I truly enjoy every movie. Like there's not a
Mhm.
bad Scream movie.
Exactly. Yep.
There's really not. And like you say, man, like depending on the day, what mood I'm in, because they all have little different tones, different vibes to them. And some days I'm in the mood for Scream 3, and that's what I want to watch.
Yeah.
And then other days I want to watch Scream 2, and so on and so forth. So but I will tell you, and I'm really curious if you have a ranking that you'd like to share, at least for today, and it could change tomorrow. I won't hold you to it. But what would your current ranking be right now?
Probably Scream 1, number 1, Scream 2.
Okay.
Scream 6.
Ooh. Okay.
Once you get past 3, then it gets like really I'll
Yeah.
say Scream 4,
Okay.
Scream 5,
All
and
right.
Scream 3. But
Okay.
like you said with the Scream movies, there's no bad Scream movie.
No.
So a
No.
lot of times when you're doing this list as a fan, you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, "Well, I can't put Scream 3 last. It's not like it's the worst one." And it's like,
Exactly.
so it's hard. You're ranking 6 good movies.
Yeah. And you know what? And what I say, like I used to say best to worst, and you know what? I changed my verbiage. You know what I say now? I say my most favorite to least favorite at this moment
Yep. Yep.
because they're all good. So I was
Yeah.
like, like today this is my list of my favorites. Tomorrow, this one might adjust here and this one might adjust here. And I think that's really kind of common for a lot of Scream fans. I mean, Darth here is even saying, I think the list changes for all of us. And I think it's a good
Yeah.
point. It's so great that we can have a franchise that we love, and knock on wood, man, so far we don't have a Halloween Resurrection
Right.
or a Zombies 2 or what I'm saying. We don't have one of those yet, and I hope we never do. Every movie that comes out, it's like fingers crossed. Come on, baby, let's go. But I just had to ask you that real quick before we dug in. Um, yeah, man, I still think a watch party's in order. We got to figure that out sometime.
Yeah, for
That would
sure.
be so much fun. And how'd you feel about? Because you mentioned to me now. Well, let me just ask, because a lot of folks that are new to the channel that haven't had the opportunity to see you yet. So you tell us what you did on Scream 5. Let's catch everybody up for 5, and kind of just let everybody know what is it you did, and then we'll talk about how that also carried over to 6.
Or 4. So 4 into 6.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know like what you sourced and all that good,
Yeah.
all that
Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So for Scream 4, basically, by the time Scream 4 was announced, excuse me, I had strep throat like a month ago, and I still have
Oh,
this like
that's
lingering
awful.
cough that just will not go away.
Oh, it's no worries, buddy. You go ahead and cough
Terrible.
all you need to, man.
um, so by the time Scream 4 was announced, I had already owned Roman's robe from Scream 3. I'd had it since the movie came out, pretty much.
Wow.
And I had already kind of reached out to several people that worked on the original 3 films and kind of, to ask some questions about it and, see if they had anything that they saved. So I had already kind of become friends with a few people that were working on the first 3. So by the time Scream 4 was announced, I already had this little circle of people that were involved in the original trilogy that obviously Wes brought back for Scream 4. And what was funny was, as we all know, Scream 3 was supposed to be the last one.
Yep.
Like from the beginning, it was like, okay, there's 3, it's a trilogy, it's done, there's never going to be another one. So they weren't really concerned with keeping track of everything after the movie was done. And it had been so long anyways that it just kind of they didn't realize till they started pre-production. They were like, we don't have a robe. Like, we don't have one of the robes. We don't have the pattern. We don't have the fabric. We don't have anything. Like, we need to find a robe. So the story I was told was that Wes obviously had kept stuff. So Wes had a robe from like the first movie, probably had one from the second one, I think I was told, but he had a bunch of like storage units that he kept a bunch of stuff in. So it was not like practical to be like, wasn't like he just had it in his closet. He's like, oh yeah, I got one. Don't worry about it.
Right.
It was like, Wes had a couple, but where are they? We need it now. So the assistant prop master, Skip Crank, and the main prop master, JP Jones, they had reached out to me because I was already friends with them. And they knew that I had the Roman's robe from 3, and they were actually looking for a robe from 3 because naturally they wanted to get as close to the last one as possible. So they reached out and said, hey, yeah, we're doing Scream 4. We're back on. We're working on it. We need your robe. We need you to help us out. We're going to bring you on as a creative consultant. Just send us your robe. We'll keep you in the loop the whole time we're filming. We'll get you a bunch of stuff afterwards. And that was pretty much how that started.
Wow. Okay. And then that was Scream 4. So that's how they were able to basically take that and get you in as the creative consultant. Now, walk us through how that extended another, 10 years later, 12 years, 11 years later, whatever. When did the phone ring from the new crew that was taken over? How'd that happen?
So Scream 5 gets announced, and obviously it's a whole new crew, whole new team, whole new everybody. So they didn't even really know, the crew didn't really know that, Fun World didn't make the costume that's used in the movie. They just kind of assumed that they did. So when the new crew reached out to Fun World and said, hey, hey, we're doing the new movie. We need masks. We need the robes and everything. Fun World was like, we don't make the robes. And they're like, what do you mean? They're like, we never made them. Like, the robes were made for the movie, and then we made our own version, but it's like, one you buy in a store. It's like a $20 Halloween costume. These were like custom made, hand sewn, all this stuff, tailored, special fabric. And they were like, well, where do we get one? And RJ Torbert, who is the head of like licensing at Fun World, who I'm also friends with, he was like, I know where you can get one. So he actually called me and was like, you saw that robe, right? I'm like, I do. And he's like, I'm going to put you in touch with the costume designer from the new movie. You can't tell anybody, but they need your help. And that was how that came about.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. And then, do I remember correctly, last time we talked about it, it's been a little bit, but if I remember right, you were talking about how you were trying to find the material for the robes. And you had to find it in, was it France? Is that right?
So Scream 4, they had, what was funny was, I had sent them my robe, and obviously they were like, well, now we got to find the material.
Yeah.
And I had already spent years trying to find as close as possible. And I had just recently found an exact match. So when they told me that, I was like, don't even bother looking. I already know where you can get it. And I sent them the information. They bought everything that this place had, but they didn't have enough, this place, to make all of them, which is why when you watch Scream 4, there's 2 different robes that you see throughout. There's some that have like very clear sparkle effect to it, and some of them don't have sparkle at all. They're just straight black. That was because they ran out of that sparkle material.
Yeah.
And then similar with Scream 5, they were having trouble sourcing something close. So what they actually ended up doing was they found a fabric that was identical in France, but it didn't have the sparkle effect. So they just used like a shimmer spray on it. So they just sprayed it on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And did those robes get carry on to 6 or as well? Or do you know if they ended up keeping those?
I was told that Paramount kept a couple of the robes from 5 to be recycled for 6.
Okay.
But it's my understanding that obviously when they went and shot Scream 6 in Canada, kind of the same thing where it was like, well, now they had to have like a whatever. I don't know the exact percentage, but when you shoot a movie in Canada, you have to have like an 80% Canadian crew. So they didn't use the same costume designer that they had on 5. Emily Gunsher was the costume designer in 5.
Yep.
So in 6, they had a new costume designer, and it's my understanding that she got one of the robes from 5, but obviously they needed more of them, and she kind of just, you know, kind of like Emily did. Emily had the Scream 3 costume, which was identical to what was used in Scream 4, but she still kind of was like, you know, it's been so many years. Her thought process was that in the Scream universe, whatever company made these costumes, they probably would have changed the design slightly over the years. So that's why she changed little things here and there on it, but really kept it as close as possible. It's my understanding that that's what Avery Pluez, who was the costume designer in 6, did. She had the 5 costume, and she made it as close as she could as possible, but she also tweaked it a little bit, just, you know, put her own little touch on it.
Yeah. Nice, man. Wow, that's awesome. How cool is that, man? That's so cool. And I have to imagine like how you must feel watching Scream 4 and 5, you know, knowing that you got your fingerprints on some of that stuff is got to be really cool, man. It's got to feel awesome, right? Like knowing you had a part of that, man.
Yeah, it was crazy, especially I still remember working with Emily back and forth, and emails and phone calls and checking out fabrics and designs and stuff. And I remember when RJ at Fun World called me, and he said, how did he say it? I'm trying to remember. I don't want to butcher this. He said, "Hey, when you helped with Scream 4, he's like, they gave you a bunch of stuff, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Did you get a credit in the movie?" And I'm like, "Well, no." And he's like, "Do you want a credit for 5?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's
Yes,
like, "I'm going to
please.
make it happen because you deserve it." I'm like, "Are you serious?" Thought he was kidding.
Wow.
He's like, "Nope, it's going to happen. Your name's going to be in the credits." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Mark my words. I'm going to demand it. It's going to happen."
Wow.
And it was. I couldn't believe it.
How surreal is that, man? Now, let me ask you, when you watched it in theaters, right? And if, I don't know if you got an advanced screening or not, but whenever you watched it for the first time, you had to have stayed, right? You had to have stayed for
Oh,
the credits. So,
absolutely.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, what did it feel like? And be honest, man. What honestly? I know how I can only imagine what I would feel like. How did it feel
It
when
was
you're sitting
crazy.
there and your name is scrolling up on the screen, dude?
It was crazy because I wasn't told where it would be. So I'm just sitting there watching the whole credits go, and everything's like going by, and it's like the wardrobe stuff. Nope. Then everything's going and going. Then it gets to like very special thanks, and like, nope, nothing. And it keeps going and going. Then it gets to like the Ghostface logo, and I see that. And then you see like RJ Torbert, Fun World staff, this, that. Right at the bottom, literally the very last credit in the entire film is Nate Ragon. So when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, I was the last credit. Like that's perfect because you don't have to be like, oh, there I am in a screen full of like 80
Yeah.
names. It was just right there, the very last one. I was like, holy crap, it's like having it by itself. Yeah,
That's
it was so
awesome.
cool. It was surreal.
I mean, that is gotta be surreal, man. That's just so cool. And you think about it, man. You were the bookend to the credits. You know, you closed the deal, man. You closed up the shop right there. Nate closed it up, man. That's so awesome, man. Dude. I'll tell you what. I've never gone through all the credits of Scream 5, but whenever I watch it next, I'm gonna go through them all just so I can see your name, man. I'm gonna be like, there, I know that guy. That's my buddy. That's so cool.
Yeah, 13-year-old me would have never believed that something like that would have happened. That's how old I was when the first Scream came out.
Wow, man, that's amazing, absolutely amazing. And plus, and when you saw Scream 3, were you already collecting Scream? Like, let me ask. All right, let me ask you this. Let me start back. At what point? At what point? I know you're making you talk so much. It's like nonstop.
No, you're good. You're good.
What At what point did you become not just a fan, but when did you cross over into saying, I want to collect? I want to be a collector of this franchise, not just a fan and which is nothing wrong with just being a fan. But when did you cross over to the collector side of you for this? Do you remember?
Well, I think pretty much from Scream 1, I was already like, back in the early days of eBay where there was like most auctions didn't even have a picture, and it took you like 10 minutes to load when you clicked on it. I was already looking for stuff like anything Scream. So I had already started like when the first one came out looking for like lobby cards and things like that. And but there wasn't much out there. There wasn't much. There was no merchandise, certainly. There was just every once in a while, like a promo item would pop up that was like, oh, here's like a promo hat or a T-shirt or something. There was stuff like that. So I was already collecting things like that. But there also wasn't the community that we have now online where we had all these answers for stuff. So very early on, I would say around Scream 2, I was already like questioning why don't the robes that you buy in the store look like the ones in the movie? Like, I didn't have that answer. Nobody had that answer. It was just, why is it sparkly? Why is this one not? And, I kind of became obsessed with that. Like, I want this costume. Obviously, it's in the movie. Somebody has to make it, right?
Yeah.
So did, as much digging as I could, and never really got any answers because, like I said, the community just wasn't there and the answers weren't out there. And then around the time that Scream 3 was, I think it had just come out in theaters, and Wes Craven had a website at the time.
Yes.
And he had a thing where you could submit questions to him and he would answer them. And I submitted a question that was literally that question. I said, why are the robes that you used in the movie, like, why are they sparkly and why do they look different than the ones you buy in the store? And that was one of the questions he answered, and they posted on the site. And he's like, because we made them ourselves, and they were hand sewn, and they cost like $700 a piece to make, and we used the sparkle effect because it showed up better on camera when we were filming. So I had my answer, and I'm like, okay, so they were made for the movie. How do I get one? So then that became the thing. So now I'm like constantly looking for a way to get one, and then one day, literally on eBay in 2000, right, probably a month or two after the movie came out, there was an auction on eBay for a robe and a mask and a call sheet and all this stuff used in Scream 3 from one of the stuntmen that played Ghostface. And there were no pictures, of course. So it was like taking a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Bought it and got it, and it was the real deal.
That's incredible, man.
I've actually had Scott Foley message me on Instagram before and say that he's jealous that I have his costume.
Dude, that's so cool, man. And I suspect, and they always say everything has a price, but Nate, I have a feeling that there's not a price for that one. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. I can't imagine that's one that you want to let go.
No, I don't know. I don't think I could ever let go of that one.
No. Now, is that something that I do have pictures? Would you like me to show pictures of that, or would you like to show us? It's up to you. I can do either way.
Yeah, you can bring the pictures up.
Okay, let me show the pictures of that. So, guys, I want you guys to check this out. This is what Nate was just talking about. This is actually, let me pull it up here. This is the the Scott Foley worn robe from Roman Bridger, Scream 3, final act. And we know it's the final act because why, Nate? How do we know? What do we see here?
Bullet holes.
Very distinct bullet holes. Look at this, guys. This is the real deal. This is actually what Scott Foley wore in the end when he revealed himself. And Nate owns this robe. It's incredible, man. It's just phenomenal. That's got to be surreal watching Scream 3 and then going to your room where you have it and looking and saying, there's that robe I just watched on my Blu-ray. That's just got to be insane. And I'm sure you already know this, but they just announced a day or two ago they're finally releasing the 4K Steelbook
Yeah.
for Scream
Yep.
3 to complete it. So now you can watch Roman's Robe in 4K, and then, but who needs 4K? You can just go to the closet and it's right there. But that's not all, right? You got this amazing robe that's actually Roman's robe Scott Foley wore, but there's more, right, Nate? There's something else he wore in that end that you have, and that is that baby right there. Roman
Yep.
Bridger's mask, dude. Incredible, man. My mind was like when I saw these pictures.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember watching Scream 6 for the first time in theaters. And when they had that mask in the evidence bag and they're like, this is Roman Bridger's mask, I was like, that's not Roman's mask. There's just that little
Yeah.
little smart smirk in my head that was like, nah, that's not Roman's mask.
Nope, that's exactly. That's what I was thinking too. Like, actually, Detective Bailey, here's Roman's mask right here. That's so good. Oh my!
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this off the screen. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Oh my gosh, bro, that
Still
is.
smells like vanilla too.
Oh, that's insane.
Still has the Fun World vanilla scent.
Wow, that's the one he wore. That's the one he took off with Sydney, right? And then in projection.
I believe so.
That would be it.
There were two that were used technically because they reshot a lot of the ending.
Okay.
So I know Scott Foley actually has one.
Okay.
And then I have the other one. So who has which one and which shot? I couldn't tell you. But Scott has one and I have one. So
amazing.
there you go.
That is so cool, man. That is just that's got to be surreal to own.
Yeah.
Seriously does, man. And you know what, guys? We have a very special guest, Nate, in the chat. We've got Lee Waddell, the original Ghostface from Scream 1. Is in the chat. Lee, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. He says, great piece, Nate.
Thank you, Lee.
That is, and Lee is asking, Nate, do you know who has his original K&B mask?
I do.
What? Oh, Lee wants that mask bad.
I do know who has it. The one that Lee wore stabbing Drew Barrymore ended up being one of the masks that Principal Henry cut. So it is cut across. Almost every K&B was when they did multiple takes of Principal Henry cutting the mask with the scissors. And when they shot that scene, it was right around the time they got permission to finally use the actual Fun World mask. So they knew those masks were coming. So they were like, just have them cut all those other ones. So we're not going to use them again. So almost every single take was one of the K&Bs. Cut. Dang. So yeah, the mask that Lee wore to stab Drew, it is cut across the face now, but I do know who has it. I know exactly where it's at.
Wow. Okay. So Lee, I'm sure I can hook you up with Nate. I'm sure Nate, you would have I can hook you guys up to talk offline about that. Maybe Nate can give you more information in private about that. That's at least I mean, if there's anybody in the world that would know, it's going to be Nate. I'm not surprised you know, because you are the foremost authority on this stuff, period. So Lee, there is hope, my friend, because I was interviewed Lee last week, and he really wants that mask. And I don't blame him. I remember, I absolutely, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So perhaps, whoever has it, man, maybe if Lee gets a hold of him directly, who knows? Maybe they'll be like, you know what, you deserve to have this mask. Everything's negotiable. And sometimes out of the kindness of your heart, like I want to give it to you, Lee, because this was, but hey, look, not everybody's different, but there's hope. There's hope. Because Nate knows who's got it. That's so cool.
I've held it. It's amazing.
Oh, that's so amazing.
They used pantyhose for the eye mesh and the KMB masks.
Oh, wow.
And they had foam in the forehead. Lee probably remembers that. They had like foam to like pad the forehead and pantyhose for the eyes, and there was like a elastic strap that went around your head.
Wow, a lot different.
All still there, just cut right across the middle.
How dare you, Fonz? You know, the Fonz had to go cutting everything up. Lee says big money. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. That's incredible. Okay. And Drowned Boy Production says the owner won't part with it. Well, you know, if you have Lee Waddell on the phone, you just never know. You know, and who knows? Who knows? All right. Let's take a look. Where are we at here? Let me go ahead and catch. Okay, good. All right. So the desire to collect and to get these collections, get your collection started in you with the Roman. We got the Roman mask, the Roman robe, and there's another particular piece of memorabilia, man, that you showed me backstage. You've just got to show it to our audience. There, guys, remember this scene when Jenny McCarthy's character what was her name? Sarah, I believe.
Sarah Darling.
Sarah Darling, thank you. Sarah walks into Roman's office and answers the phone, and she's talking to Roman to go over the lines, and she accidentally knocks his musical award trophy on the floor, and the head breaks off. Remember that? She got scotch tape, and she does her thing. And then Roman later on says he thinks he's the next victim, and the cops are like, why? He says, you think this isn't a message? Well, guys, Nate has a message. He got the same message. Nate, show him the message you got. Oh, guys, there it is. That is the trophy from Scream 3. There it is, right there.
The one and only.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There it is, man. Head's missing. That's it. That's 1999.
There you go. You can see what he won for. That you can't see this on screen.
No, best director. I see best director, 1999. Special Roman Bridger, and it says tiger striped fur.
And the band is the Rats.
Oh my gosh, I never knew what was on that. That's so cool. That's new information. Dude. And while you're showing that, just like that, let me show what you sent me. And you can talk to us about this, because that's perfect. Nate sent me this image. Look at this. So tell us, walk us through this.
That is the original production sketch for what they imagined the trophy should look like.
Nice. Dude.
So they used that sketch to design this.
And there it is. Yeah. Wow. Incredible, man. That is just, again, and I have to ask this question, and I may sound a little redundant, but I have to ask you, man, because I mean, I'm vicariously now living through you here, Nate, for a little bit. When you watch Scream 3 and that trophy hits the ground, what does it feel like? Like when you see that trophy on screen and Roman's holding it up, is this not a message? Like, and you've got that right there in your hands. Like, what is it? It's
crazy.
Is it still? Isn't it still like connect to you? Or do you still feel it? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Oh my gosh. My good buddy Marcus says, "What's up, fellas? Man, Nate's collection is so amazing. The Charlie button-up Roman trophy are my favorite. Oh, the Charlie shirt, yeah. That's and Nate sent that in on another stream for Marcus to see the heart stabbing spot, and that trophy is wicked cool. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is wicked cool right there, man. And let's see, we got a super chat that's come through. Let me get you. Why not? Ben says Amber's robe was sparkly like her eyes. Oh my gosh, Ben.
It was.
It was. And Ben has a big crush on Miss Amber. And that's all right, Ben. That's all right, buddy. Ben, thanks for your super chat and very good observant eyes on the sparkly robe. You're correct. Yeah. And you know what? I have a theory about that Scream 4 robe situation you were talking about. Like
Hmm.
sometimes it's sparkly, sometimes it's not. It's because Jill had a different robe than Charlie. That's all.
Yeah,
That's all it was. Yeah, I mean, if it works, right?
it does work.
It works. Um, and Dino says it must feel surreal to see that trophy on screen and have it in your possession at the same time. Yeah,
For sure.
so cool, man. All right, so Nate, we got some more pictures now. You've sent some new pictures.
Hmm.
And hey, before we do that, do you want to one more time revisit quickly what you sent the other day with the mask from 4? Because
Yeah.
that's an interesting look that I don't think everyone has seen the inside that you
Yeah.
sent. Okay, so Nate sent these pictures over, guys. Well, I'll let Nate tell you what it is. I'm gonna let him tell you because I'm trying to give him a little bit of break for his voice, but I'm check now. So this is not an alien. This is something because he doesn't look like what the front looks like at all, does it?
No,
Um,
that's the inside of the opening scene mask from Scream 4.
man, that's crazy. Uh, and the extra material here, obviously not pantyhose this time. They've come a long way, right? This is
Yeah.
what material did you say this was again, Nate, for the
They
eyes?
actually use the material that's like on the hoods of the masks, that polyester. They would just rip a hood off of like a mask they weren't using and then cut and use that. Yeah.
Okay, okay, wow. And I heard from Alan Robinson, who was Matthew Lillard's stunt double in the third act there, who fought with Nev, and of course in Scream 2 played Ghostface, the opening,
Hmm.
kill there, and of course Lee Waddell played Ghostface a little bit in that movie as well. But and even the newer masks with Max LaFerriere from Scream 6, who played Ghostface, they've all said the same thing: is that you can't see worth anything in that thing.
Hmm.
Vision's horrible. Which it just makes my respect go up even higher for these amazing stunt performers that they can run, they can do all that stuff in these movies with very limited vision, right? Very limited vision.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Um, very talented, very talented individuals, performers. And of course, there's the front. Now, there we go. That's what it looks like. That's what we're used to seeing. Scream 4. Which, by the way, my favorite sequel. It's my favorite
Nice.
sequel. Yep. And we do have another super chat. Why not, Ben? Bringing in some Amber quotes here. Dewey had to Dewey had to die to make it real. Oh, Ben. Love you, buddy. Thanks for your super chat, man. Okay. All right. So let's go to some more pictures here. Let's see some new stuff here. Now, I'm going to put this on the screen. Do you mind if I go randomly, or do you want to kind of guide me where you'd like to?
You can go randomly.
Okay. All right. So we've got a couple of documents here that I would love for you to kind of just share what we're looking at. I know it's going to be hard for you guys to read it at home.
Let me make sure which one I'm looking at here.
Three Bagger Productions. This is
So that is for Scream 3.
okay.
And that is essentially from the production company, just a friendly reminder to all cast and crew that what they are working on is top secret and that there is sensitive stuff and spoilers that should never leak. That's essentially what that is.
Okay. But it's so cool to have that. I've never seen that, man. I've never seen that published anywhere by anyone. That's
Yeah, I don't think it ever has been.
no more. I feel like I may have a new Never Before Seen Images video coming here, possibly, Nate, with your permission, of course.
Yeah, of course.
All right, here's another document. This is the memo from the art department. And it looks like they're needing to do some more work or something here, right?
Yeah, that's like a memo requesting that like more work needs done in Dewey's trailer and a couple of the other sets.
Wow. Dewey's office, Jennifer's house, a fuse box. Wow. That's cool, man. Just really neat insider stuff. Now, if this is the one I'm thinking it is, let me see what this one is. We've got Stu Macher's. Is this Stu Macher's property here? I think.
Yep. That's like don't know what you call it, a blueprint-ish kind of. I don't know what you
Yeah,
call it, but yeah, that's straight from Scream 1. As you notice down there, it's back when it was still called Scary Movie.
it does say Scary Movie.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Wow. And there's more of these. Oh, now we got a map. I mean, not a map, a
that's a
calendar.
shooting schedule from Scream 1.
Dude.
Again, back when it was still Scary Movie.
Oh my goodness. Man, that is so cool. Let's see. Where I was at here. And it's still Stu Macher's house. Yeah, it's Stu Macher's house.
Hmm.
Yeah, little different view of it. Let's see. Now this is again Scary Movie. I love that. They hadn't changed the name. And here is the interior diagram. Almost like what you see when you're going to buy a house or on a house listing where they show you the blueprints, or not the blueprints, but I know what whatever it's called. Uh, that's the layout basically of the house. Wow.
Yep.
Very cool. More shooting calendar. Wow. Busy. Very busy in May. Gosh. I know that's probably, if they were shooting scene 118, I know that was very busy. And 3 straight weeks of like, I think like no days off practically, just about.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And then now we got this one here. Now this is, I know it's sideways. Sorry guys. It uploaded back sideways on me. Map for downtown Woodsboro and Plymouth, Michigan. So this is Scream 4.
Scream 4. Yep.
And I guess were these like just part of the handed out to the crew? I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows where everything's at. Here's a better image. This is straight. You see up at the top. In the middle is base camp, and then you have catering below that. So it's all laid out where they're going to be a high school. So it's a location map basically for everybody. And that stuff's pretty close together too.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's really, really close together. The shooting locations, man. So Nate, I'm just curious, have you ever gone to any filming locations and visited these sites ever?
I've not been to any from 4, but I've been to most. Oh, I guess not most. I've been to all of them from the first one. I've been to a couple from 2, as well as most of the ones from 3.
Nah, that's awesome, man. Real quick, Dino just wanted to say, Nate, I'm really appreciative of you sharing this stuff with us. It's so great. Seriously, thank you.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
And so it really is an honor for this to have you here doing this, man. It's so cool. All right, let's see here. Let me keep going. So our time is, we still have a little bit of time, but we're kind of moving along quickly here. It's going by fast.
We're good. Don't worry about time.
All right, brother. Now I'm going to get to some pictures of some cast members. Now this shot, bro, that is so darn cool. Like I want to make that like wallpaper or something. I don't know what to do, but that is like so awesome.
When they sent me that, they said, "Oh, this was what we took as like, what if this was a real crime scene? What would the crime scene photo look like?"
Yeah, man. And Marcus, if you're still here, buddy, from I shot him 6 times. We got Charlie right there, buddy, front and center, man. There's your boy. Jill's over there. We got everybody there. Trevor, poor Trevor. Oh my gosh. I mean, I just look at him like, oh, dude. Oh, yeah, that's just a really cool image, man. Again, I've never seen this, man, ever. And you guys here that are here on the stream, and those are you watching this on replay mode, I hope you're taking this stuff in, because you're not going to find this anywhere else. This is not on any other channel. It's not on any other website. This is exclusive that Nate is sharing with us from his personal collection. So I hope you guys are really appreciating what you're watching here, because I am taking this in as a Scream super fan is what I consider myself. I am just soaking this up, brother. And thank you, Nate. Again, I keep saying that, but it really is an honor for you to
Oh, absolutely.
that you're doing this for us, man. The community here. Wow, what a pick alive! Everyone's just digging this stuff, man. Wow. Okay, it's hard to turn that one off because I really like that picture.
That's one of my favorite ones too.
It's so good. Um, Alan says it's amazing to have these legends insight into the films that we love so much. Cool as you know what. Yeah,
Appreciate that, Alan.
absolutely. It's true. It's very true. Russell says, thank you, Nate, for sharing. This is so awesome.
Absolutely.
So cool. Horror Den said, Nate, did you ever interact with Hayden Panettiere in Scream from Scream 4?
No.
But you know what? Speaking of Hayden, we do have this though. And look who's behind her on the right.
Yep.
There's the man himself, the legend. Wes Craven standing right there. I recognize him right away. Rest in peace, Wes. You know, his birthday is August the 2nd. It's coming up. And the day of his passing was August the 30th. And so here on this channel, Nate, as you know, my namesake for the channel, Craven, that's how much I respect him and to name the channel after him. It's going to be Wes Craven month, and we've already started. We watched Wes Craven Presents Wishmaster last night. Tonight, after this stream ends, we're watching Cursed and the unrated version, which is the Wes Craven's original intended version before the Weinstein said, no, we want a PG-13 movie. And he's like, what are we doing here? You know, is this a horror movie or not? But he did it. You had to cut it back. But the scenes, thankfully, were kept and released as an unrated version. So, but we're going to be watching Wes Craven films all in the month of August, all the time. So, anyway, it's just great to see him. And look at Hayden having some lemonade, looks like. Something. Now this is a cool shot, Nate. Dang.
That's from the original opening before they reshot it.
Oh, man. Clean up on aisle 4. Dude. I've heard that stuff is really sticky.
Yep.
Really sticky. Now, Nate, here's an image that I really am looking forward to you explaining exactly what it is. I'm very curious of this shot right here.
So that is from Scream 1. And this was prior to them having permission to use the Ghostface mask, like the Fun World mask.
Yes. Okay.
So you'll notice on the right with the gray hood is a version that they made themselves. And the mask on the left says, do not use on movie. And they wrote that like, yo, like, no, we cannot use this. Like, obviously they were able to eventually. But yeah, I'd love to know where that mask is today. That'd be an interesting piece to have.
Dude, it would. Seriously, that's, man. I just wonder what happened. You know, what happens to some of these things? They just, where do they end up at? I mean, could you imagine having that actual mask and that still says it on top, like the ink was preserved? Like, you know, that's just crazy, man. Now here's a shot that's kind of a little suggestive here. That's a this is that was is that Marnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Marnie, right? I think that's
Olivia.
Marnie.
Olivia.
Oh, that's Olivia. No, you're right. That's Olivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's before she had a hole in the middle of her hand, left hand.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. That's just these candid shots are cool. They really are, man. So again, never seen just all this. These guys, you're never going to see these pictures anywhere else. They're just, no one has these. They're not out there. Look at this one. Ooh. Wow. So cool, man. Now, here's another shot. I don't know that Marcus is still with us. He may have had to head out, but he'll like this one though when he sees the replay. Oh, Charlie Walker with Sydney in the classroom. Great shot, man. So cool. Behind the Screams, the props, wardrobe, making of Scream 4. So cool, man. And now I want to ask you, Nate, about this shot here. You could kind of help us out with this one. What are we looking at here?
I forgot I sent that one. So that is a collection of knives and props from Scream 3.
Oh.
So what we're looking at, let me see if I can identify all these.
Oh, sweet. Take your time.
So, okay, yeah, this is a really interesting picture now that I'm looking at it. So the first 3 knives starting at the left,
Okay.
those are rubber buck knives from Scream 3.
Wow.
The fourth one, if you're starting at the left, the fourth one, that's the retractable from Scream 3. If you look really close, you can see the line.
Okay.
And the one on the right, the one on the far right, that's actually the knife from Scary Movie.
Oh my gosh. Seriously?
Yeah, so this picture wasn't from set. This was from a guy who had bought a bunch of stuff
Wow.
from Miramax probably about 10 years ago. And myself and a few other people ended up with a bunch of it. But because Miramax, they did Scream 3, they did Scary Movie, they kind of got mixed up. So I saw all these and I was like, I really like that really shiny knife on the right. And I could never match it to anything. I could never figure out what it was. And then one day somebody online messaged me and said, I think that's the knife from Scary Movie. If you watch it, it like matches perfectly. And it was.
Oh my goodness.
And that knife, the Scary Movie knife, is actually owned by Drown Boy Productions now. Kind of a little twist of fate there. Like, I didn't know him at the time when I owned it, but I sold it to somebody who sold it to somebody who sold it to Drown Boy Productions, and I'm very good friends with him now, and he also has an amazing Scream used collection from Scream. So he now owns that knife, which is we still get a kick out of that it came to me as a knife from Scream 3, but then we figured out it was actually from Scary Movie, and then it ended up in his hands many, many, many years later.
Wow.
So, and then the furthest piece on the right, that is a metal plate that has a real buck knife that was sawed in half and welded to it. It has Velcro and straps on it. That's what was sticking out of Jennifer's bodyguard in Scream 3 when he stabbed him back.
Yeah.
That's what was sticking out of his back. So that would have been, that plate would have been on his back. Okay. And then there was like stretchy Velcro material that went around his, at the front of him.
Yeah.
And made that stick out. And then below that, that bendy machete, that's the machete that Jenny McCarthy picks up and tries to hit Ghostface with, and it just like folds over on his arm because it was made out of rubber. Yeah. And the knife below that, that's the knife that she picks up that the blade just kind of flops around.
Wow, dude. That is awesome, man. What a picture. There's some what a treasure of stuff on this one image. My goodness. Man, it's funny because Drown Boy Productions is actually in the chat with us right now and said that Scary Movie knife sits in front of him currently right now. That's cool.
Yeah, I absolutely love that I had it and then it ended up with him. That was one of my favorite things.
Yeah. Drown Boy Productions, man, I'm going to reach out to you. See if you'd be interested in coming on the channel sometime. I'd love to talk to you as well about your Scream collection. That's awesome. And I also have a question from him. We're going to get to that in a second, but I want to make sure I got all these pictures covered. I think that was everything from the new pictures. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. So one of the things, he had a question for you. He said, what's your least favorite kill in the franchise? Oh man, I know what mine is. I'm curious what yours is, Nate.
My least favorite would be Anthony Anderson's in Scream 4, just because it's so silly. And knowing the stories that I was told about when they shot that kind of bothers me when I watch
Oh,
it.
okay. Interesting. Okay.
It even till I appreciate it. It
Yeah.
doesn't like make me dislike the movie or the scene, but it's still, to me, it feels completely out of place in tone from the rest of the movie.
Yeah. I'm not, I like the stabbing in the forehead
Yeah,
to
for
be honest. I
sure.
love that part of it. I will say, and again, this is my favorite sequel, but even I will say the walking and the F Bruce Willis, I would not have gone that direction personally, but
So I'll just tell you what I was told from the people that were literally there when it was being shot was that they did multiple takes of it, of course,
mhm,
and of course, you watch the outtakes of the bloopers on the Scream 4 on the Blu-ray and stuff. And there's plenty with Anthony Anderson, and of course he's always goofing around. I mean, that's what they
right.
hired him for. He's
That's
funny.
true. Yep.
Um, so apparently they're shooting this death scene, which Wes had decided, like, I want this because he read this article that was like,
Mhm.
there was this guy that walked into a emergency
And you
room
are. Yep.
and he had a knife like sticking in his head, and it just happened to like miss everything, and he was just fine. He was, he wasn't dead. He was
Mhm.
fascinated by that, so he wanted this scene in the movie. And Anthony Anderson kept take after take after take doing it more like goofy and silly. And everybody's laughing, and now they're on like take 3 or 4, and Wes at this point's like, oh, right, like, now play it straight, like, let's do it
Ah,
straight, play it straight,
yeah.
like, just give us one take of you playing it straight, which apparently he did. Apparently Anthony Anderson gave an amazing take of you know this horrifying moment where he's stabbed in the forehead, and somehow he's able to still be alive and come out of the car and realize what's happening to him. And that's where the story ends. We don't know why they ended up using one of the silly ones. Did
Ah.
Wes finally decide, what, I like the goofy one? Was it the Weinsteins? That I don't have the answer to, but I
Mhm.
do know that there were several silly takes, and then they finally got him to do a straight up, like, terrifying take of a death scene.
Wow.
And for whatever reason, they never used that, and it's never seen the
Dang.
light of day. So
Man, I would love to have seen that with a serious tone.
yeah,
Cause my gosh, how horrifying that would be
yep,
to realize what had happened to you and you're alive still right now. You're actually oh my gosh. That's too bad, man. I wonder who made that call.
right,
I wonder who
yeah,
made the call. Who, cause that was the one Scream film that Patrick Lussier did not edit.
hmm,
It's a different editor, and which I don't know for whatever reason. And I wonder if Patrick Lussier had been editing it, if that had been any impact on it or not. I don't know.
right,
Someone had to make that call though.
yep,
So the Weinsteins, dude. I don't those. Don't get me started. If I don't trust that those guys were just. If anybody, they meddled more than I just was so frustrated with how much they got into Wes's business and trying to
yeah,
dictate how he should do everything. I'm like, are you kidding me? You realize you have a legendary filmmaker in your midst and you're telling him what he should do and not do? That's ridiculous, man.
I mean, right here, this is probably the only known existing copy of this is the final shooting script for Scream 4.
Oh,
This is right
wow.
off set. This is Skip Crank's personal copy. Nev Campbell signed it. Um,
Dang,
if
dude.
you look at this thing, this list right here, let me see if I can get it just right. Right there. That is every time that a scene was rewritten during filming. This is not before, the actors weren't handed the script and said, okay, this is the movie we're making. These were rewrites that were done during filming. Look at all those. Look at the dates. Some of
Goodness.
them were only a few days apart.
Wow. Very exactly. Seriously.
So you sit there and you memorize the lines and you have all
Mm.
the shots figured out, and then the Weinsteins demand all these rewrites, and it's just
Jeez,
day after day
man.
after day. That's why Wes famously said, when they said, "Oh, is there going to be a Scream 5 and will you come back?" and he said, "I will have to have a completed, done all be all script
Yep.
come back," because that's right there's why. A lot of people haven't
That's
seen that, but that's how many rewrites were done. And every time they did a rewrite, they did different colored pages. You see all the different colors
oh
in here that had to be swapped out.
gosh, dude.
And all these were ordered to be destroyed after filming for obvious reasons. So this one was
Wow.
kept for me. And
Nate,
so
that
this could
dude.
be the only copy of the final shooting script.
Oh wow. Wow. That's what an item. What
Yeah.
an item to have. My gosh, dude. Uh the Weinstein, mm. I'm like, can you imagine if just Wes had been left alone to
Yeah.
his creativeness to do what he does? And man, I mean, it's still a great movie. Like, it's my favorite sequel, but I just wonder, like, what it would have been still. Like,
Mhm.
how different would it have been with the original
Yep.
stuff? And then, and you get these people that they don't write movies. They're not creative talent. They're businessmen. And they have the right to do it. It's their, but just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, um, but that's frustrating. So what would you say is the prize of your collection? Because I mean, all of these are gems. Do you have one item personally that you just are like, if I had to get rid of everything, but
Hmm.
I could keep one thing, what would you hold on to?
Cool. It's a tough question.
I know it's got to
um,
be.
I always want to. My brain automatically goes to uh, Roman's robe and all. The mask and that. Just
Yeah.
because it was the first screen used item that I got, but I would have to say I have it in a case here, so the glare
Oh,
might suck.
oh
But
boy, what is
it'll
it gonna
probably be
be?
this. So this is one of the screen used masks from Scream 4. And this was
Wow,
actually gifted to me and personalized from Wes as a thank you for helping on Scream 4.
dude, man.
So
It
I
says
would say,
Nate. What does it say, Nate?
here's looking at you,
Yeah.
Wes Craven.
Oh, okay, man. Shut the
So I
front
would say
door.
probably
That's
this.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. It's got to be, man.
Yep.
That is Wes's gift. Wes' gift to you,
Yep.
signed by Wes Craven, and it's a screen used Scream 4 mask. Come on, man. That is that's the top of the food chain and dinner is served kind of a thing right there, my
Right.
friend. That is, well, dude, that gives me chill bumps. Honestly, I have chill bumps. I don't know why, but I do. It's how much that just is amazing. Yeah, dude, you'd have to let it all go for that. I think. I think I
For
would.
sure.
I'd have
Yeah.
to hold on to that. Yep.
Yep.
Caden says Caden's got chills too. Good. It's not just me. I'm not the only one that's got chill bumps. It's seriously incredible. So man, you've got you own a Scream 4 screen used mask. You have a Scream 3 screen used mask.
Hmm.
Dude, that is, I mean, just to have one of those is remarkable. And to have two, I mean, you're going for like out of this world. Wait a second. Oh yeah. And what is this now?
This is one of the main masks, the main hero mask from Scream 2.
bro. Okay.
This specific mask was, now it may have been used for other things,
Okay.
but I know for a fact that it was at least the mask used in the scenes when Gail's getting chased through
The
the
studio,
sound
the
booth
sound booth stuff.
stuff. Yep,
So that was worn by Alan Robinson because he was the stuntman
yep.
in that scene. Bro. Oh my
And this was
gosh.
actually, it's signed too. But what this was signed. Skip kept this mask after they filmed it, and so he had Wes sign it to him.
Oh,
Skip gifted it
nice.
to me many years later. So
How nice is that, dude? Okay. You're just showing off now, Nate. No, no, that's why I wanted you to come on. This is Scream 2, Scream 3, and Scream 4 masks worn on screen. Unbelievable. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I told you guys Nate is known as the authority of screen used memorabilia for Scream. There is no other in this category. He's the guy. Oh, that's amazing, bro. I mean, let me ask you, Nate, how often do you watch the Scream films on average? You still watch them frequently?
yeah,
Yeah. It's I mean, when you come to the scene with Gail being chased, which is one of the most iconic scenes, in my opinion, of all the all the movies, all of them. That's one of the best. And you see Alan sporting that mask, doing his thing. I mean, again, I'm just gonna be geeking out. I'd be like, yeah, that's over on it's on my table over there. You
for
know,
sure.
I mean, it's just got to be surreal, man. Got to
Yeah,
be
for sure.
right. Yeah, dude. Okay. Before we wrap up, man, because I know we're going a little long. This is
We're good.
wow. We do have a super chat that we came in. Maddie Ice sending a $10 super chat to the channel. Thank you, Maddie, for your support. That's very kind. Says Nate, I just wanted to let you know, a Scream 2 robe just sold for 75 grand at auction at Profiles in History, signed by Wes Craven in silver ink. Oh
Yep.
man.
I watched that happen. And I actually identified the robe for them. They actually reached out to me to see if I could authenticate it for them
Dude,
before the
see?
auction.
That's what
But
I'm talking
that
about.
price, it surprised everybody. That was a record breaking sale price for a Scream robe from any of the films.
Wow. 75 grand. Dude. So guys, there's another example. Profiles in History called Nate to say, hey, we need your help. I mean, this is the guy right here. You're not going to find anyone else with the reputation that Nate has in the world of Scream when it comes to screen use memorabilia. It's just, I mean, it's an amazing, and that's got to feel pretty awesome too, man, to know that, you have that reputation, right, across the
Yeah,
industry. That's
it's it's
awesome.
it's hard to believe sometimes, but
Yeah.
for sure.
God, that's so awesome. And uh, Matty Ice, that's information that I wasn't aware of that. I missed that. That's 75 grand. Wow. So now what we need to do is have whoever won that auction, we need them to donate that to Nate, and so he can put it with the Allen Robinson mask. So
Yeah.
so you'll have a full costume for 2 and 3.
And I
Yeah.
have a knife from 2 as well. I have the main knife from 2 as well, right here.
Oh, wait, this is say that again,
This is
Nate.
the main knife from Scream 2.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's amazing. Wow. I love it. Scream 2 mask on screen. And now that's the real one, right? That's the real buck, or is that a rubber one?
It's metal, but it's custom made. It's made out of aluminum, so it's shinier.
Okay. Dang. Dude, it just keeps coming. Nate just continues to pull stuff out here. Um Amazing, my friend. That's what a treasure this is for you to share all this. Um, I mean, man, and Scream 2 was such a great sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really strong. Wow. Now, did you ever, or have you ever been tempted to take that out of the case and just hold it? Have you
Oh, I've
ever?
done it many times.
Okay. I was just curious, man, because I'd be like, I'd be doing it. I'd have to at least
Yeah,
one. At
I've done
least
it
one.
many times.
That's awesome. Wow. I have to ask you, man, any other goodies that you've got hiding over there that you would like to show us tonight? Because
Yeah.
we're on pins and needles for what could be coming next.
I'll show you the weirdest item I have from any Scream movie.
Ooh,
The
okay.
weirdest, absolute weirdest.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Take your time.
Any guesses what this could be?
Tell me, is that a blood capsule?
This is
Oh,
Jill, as you see, Emma Roberts.
okay.
That's her bloody contact lens from Scream 4.
Dude.
That's her contact lens that she wore to make her eye look all bloody after when she's in the hospital
Wow.
during the final act, the final act.
The final, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her contact lens that she
That
wore.
is insane. Bro. Now that's something I would never in a million years have thought of. Ever.
Me
Ever.
either. The makeup person or effects person, whoever was responsible for this, for whatever reason, they kept it in the jar that they kept it in on set, and they forgot they had it, and they found it, and they showed it to Skip and said, "Hey, look what I still have." And Skip said, "What do you want? What are you going to do with it?" They're like, "I don't know, nothing. It's kind of weird that I have it." He's like, "I know someone who would want it."
Yes.
So Skip's like, "Hey, do you want this?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "He was just gonna throw it away." I was like, "No, don't throw that away."
Heck no. And that is still preserved in there
Yep.
all this time. Wow. Dang, dude. Now, I would say, have you ever been tempted to try to put it in your eye? But I think you probably would not
No.
do that. No. I'm kidding. That's awesome. And completely unexpected. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's the weirdest one. Anytime I pull that out and show it to someone, they're like, "Oh my god, how
Yeah.
does that even still exist?"
I know. It is incredible. Um, dude, man, I got stories to tell people, man. I got stories to say, man, you're not gonna believe this, but I know a guy. I know a guy. um, so got a couple of more questions. Is it all right if we do like a couple more questions?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
we'll
I'm
wrap
not
it up.
prepped for time at all.
Okay. All right, real quick. Paula wanted to ask what's your favorite scene in Scream 4?
Favorite scene? I really like the little moment between Sydney and Dewey on the couch when they have their little moment.
Their little moment there.
Yeah, I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Every time I see that scene, I swear, man, there's like
Yep.
there could be a little something. There's a connection there,
Yeah,
right there with
for
those
sure.
two. Yep, that's right. Horror Den, I see your question here, but man, listen, I've got so many comments that I'm scrolling through. So, yeah, that's gonna be like fishing for. Yeah, it's gonna take me too long to scroll. Horror Den, do me a favor. I'll ask your question real quick, but I need you to put it in there again, please. I would greatly appreciate it if you can do that. I will. I will get that up there for Nate before we wrap up. Also, let's see. Paula asked a question earlier that I've been holding on to. She said, "What's your favorite scary movie?" That's kind of, we have to ask that question, right? Somebody has to ask that.
I always say Friday the 13th, the original, just because, well, I love it, obviously, but it was the first scary movie I ever saw.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's pretty much what got me. Like, I was always fascinated by scary movies as a
Yeah.
child. But what kind of cemented it for me was when I finally watched one, and it just happened to be the original Friday the 13th. And then I was obsessed from that moment forward.
Yeah.
So that one holds as much as Scream, right here. But Friday the 13th is always like that special place in my heart as the first one I ever saw. And what really created my love for the genre and the franchises and all that stuff.
Oh man. Well, that's all right, man. That's a legendary film. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. I mean, that's not a bad answer at all. I think there's a lot of people that would be right there with you. I know that for a fact. Let's see here. The Hard Den. Here we go. Thanks for putting that back in. Harden had a question. Any insight on why we got the Ginny opening rather than the Marnie one, which I thought was better? Ginny's chase is by far the worst in the franchise. Well, I don't know about that, but that's okay. I respect your opinion. But any thoughts on that? The first part of that?
Yeah. Basically, they had a test screening that the Weinsteins attended in Pittsburgh, of all
Okay.
places. Wes was there. The Weinsteins were there. They had an early test screening, and they had the original opening. And apparently, as the old story goes, it tested poorly. People weren't impressed by the opening. So the Weinsteins just were like, we got to change the opening. It's got to be reshot. We got to come up with something. At that point, Kevin was like done with the Weinsteins, wanted nothing to do with it. Aaron Kruger was pretty much done with them at that point as well. So Wes was the one that ended up kind of being forced to like write something quickly. It wasn't, not trying to speak for Wes, but it's my understanding that it wasn't necessarily something that he wanted to do. He didn't necessarily want to shoot a new opening. He didn't necessarily want to write it himself, but he was kind of given no choice from the Weinsteins.
Yep.
So had to come up with something fast. And there was basically no mandate. It was just, it tested poorly. Do it again. Give us something else.
Man.
There was no like, the audience thought that this moment was good, but this one wasn't. So maybe we can reshoot that and pump up a little. There was nothing like that, to my understanding. It was simply tested bad, do a new one, change it. We don't care what you do; it just has to be different.
Oh my gosh, the wine. Here we go. Back to the Weinsteins, man.
Yep.
Again.
And they never even test screens the reshot version. They just wanted something different. So.
Wow. I am frustrated as a fan. I can't imagine how Wes must have been. He had to have been so frustrated. Yep. Oh my gosh, dude. And it's not like, I always say it like this. They were treating that situation like they're dealing with a young director out of college and making his first movie or his second movie. If it was radio silence, I could understand more hands-on approach, being they're still pretty young with the major movies.
This
was Wes, man. Come on, dude. This guy was a legend when they got him in there. And it's like they didn't realize what they had, or they were so power hungry and basically, I'm in control and I'm going to show it. I'm going to do it my way. I don't care who's behind the camera. I don't know their motivation. Never talked to those. I never met them. But all I know is that studio interference was so bad with those people. I'm like, what if? Just imagine if that script had been purchased by, another studio over at Paramount or Universal and Wes would have gone and made those movies with a different executive group that just said, go, we're hiring you because we trust you. Make the movie. We know you're going to make it amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, there are, yeah,
you saw that list of rewrites
yes,
and how often they happen during filming. I have several versions of the scripts from Scream 5 and 6 in my possession, and there was only 2 versions of the Scream 5 script. There was the original one that they wrote,
mm-hmm.
and then, of course, as always, you never really go with the first draft. There was a couple changes that they made.
Sure.
So there was a second version, but it was finished and completed, and they decided this is what we're going to shoot, and they went and shot it. Scream 6, obviously there was the Sydney, Nev Campbell issues.
Yes, yes.
But even with that, 3 versions. There was 3 rewrites on Scream 6 before they got to what they finally shot, and that's what they shot.
Wow.
Scream 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17 rewrites during filming.
And yeah, as I was saying, that was after script approval to start filming.
Yep.
So it's like, we approve you to film. Here's the script. And oh, wait, as you're filming, we've changed our mind. No, change this. That's just, yeah, I'm sorry. That's criminal.
Yeah.
That's criminal. And I'll tell you what, if it had been a lesser director than Wes on this stuff, the movie probably would have been horrible. Would have been falling apart.
Yep.
And he's the one he's the glue that even held that together with that insanity and made it where it's almost seamless. As an audience, you don't even realize that's happening. It's like it's flowing great. But just anyway, testament to him for sure. Well, guys, listen, Nate has given us an additional almost half hour tonight, and I am so appreciative of that, Nate. Thank you for hanging out. This has been a treat, and I mean that, a real treat. I'm so glad we got to spend time just focusing on your journey through this whole thing. And what I have to ask you one closing question for me.
Yeah.
I know one thing. I do know one of them. I mean, this may still be the answer because I remember I never forgotten this. But you're always on the hunt, right? You're always on the hunt. So, what is on your hunt list? What is it you want? And you're not going to stop till you get it. You're going to find a way.
The Scream 3 voice changer.
I knew it. Yes. Yes.
And also, I would love to find the voice changer from Scream 1, the one that was used.
Gosh.
I would love to know what happened to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one that we see Stu Mocker holding there. Surprise, Sydney. Yeah, man. Yep. Anybody know? Does JP Jones know? Does anybody know where it's at? No.
Nope. And I can tell you this much. I know the prop house in Los Angeles that they rented it from.
Mm-hmm.
And JP and Skip went there physically and checked the inventory to see if it was still there, and it wasn't.
Dang, man.
So that was kind of like my last ditch effort. Was like, okay, none of you guys have it. These people don't have it. You don't have it. You don't know where it is. Is it possible it's still at this prop house? It's possible. We'll go check. Wasn't there.
So either it disappeared from on set somewhere, someone snagged it, or the prop house. I mean, maybe someone there took it. Who knows,
or
right?
Got rented out for another movie. And,
that's true too. Yeah.
Never got returned.
I
did see somebody sent me pictures. We don't know if it was the exact same one, but it was the same style. Pretty much the voice changer from Scream 1 is in the movie Super Troopers.
Interesting.
And it is the same one, but we don't know if it's the same one. If you know.
I see. I do. Yeah. Yes. Do you know if it came from that same prop house?
Haven't been able to confirm that yet.
Man, because if it did, that ups the chances.
Right.
That it is the same one, right? It's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
But do you know who owns that? Or where that is? Okay.
Nope. No idea.
Man, darn it. Here's one more. Hardin, and I want to know the answer to this. Nate, do you know what happened to Sydney's necklace with the Greek letters?
I believe the screen worn pair Nev kept.
Ah, okay.
Whether or not she still has them, I don't know. But I know that one of the members of the prop team still has one of the duplicates that they made for Scream 3 because she's still wearing them in 3.
Yep.
So there is a
Wow.
original set or piece out there somewhere, but I don't think the molds exist anymore because I know people have asked me before, like, who has the molds? I don't think they kept those just because it was for, if it was something bigger, like for a knife or a mask, something more expensive to make, they probably would have kept the mold. But for something little like that, like a little necklace, they probably would have just thrown it away afterwards.
Yep. Dang it, man. I would have a hard time working in those shops because that'd be like I was busy. It'd be like, oh, we can't destroy that. No,
Yeah,
we can't do that.
everything. Yep.
Yeah, everything exactly. Nothing would be destroyed ever. It'd just be renting more and more spaces out to store everything. And real quick, Cody has been a channel member today. This is his 9-month anniversary. So, Cody, congrats and thank you so much for being a Cravenite for 9 months. That's amazing. And Cody had a real quick question. He said, Nate, what are your thoughts on them killing off Dewey in 5? Ugh. I can't even watch that scene. I have to fast forward it.
I don't like it, but I guess over time I've come to accept it.
Have you? Yeah.
Can't change it.
No,
So
no, you can't.
all you can do really is accept it. I kind of had the same feeling. I know we didn't have him for as many movies, but I kind of had the same feeling the first time I watched Scream 2 when Randy died. I was like, how could they do this? Like, this isn't, no, you can't kill him. This movie sucks. Like, how could you do that?
Yeah, I know.
But you kind of accept it, and it still sucks. Every time you watch Scream 2 and Randy dies, it's like,
I know.
oh,
Like,
man,
no, I know.
Randy.
Me too. Yeah.
But you accept it, and it is.
Yeah.
It's taken several years, but it's become one of those great moments of the franchise where it's like Randy's death scene is insane. And speaking of Randy's death scene, Drown Boy Productions owns Randy's death costume, the actual bloody wardrobe that Jamie Kennedy wore when he gets killed. He actually had the opportunity to share it at Jamie Kennedy does stand up. He actually went to one of Jamie's shows and was like, afterwards, I got something to show you. And he presented him that costume, and Jamie freaked out, like, oh my God. He's like, I want to cry. This is so historic. Like, this is probably the most iconic piece of wardrobe I've ever worn in any movie ever.
That is awesome, man. Wow. Man, maybe sometime I'll work on getting a live stream with you two together at the same time.
That would be awesome, yeah.
You guys are buddies, so it'd be that would be a cool thing. And you guys can talk memorabilia. We can talk about whatever. All things Scream. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But this was a great time. And Jason, the nice one, says thank you again, Nate, for coming to see us. You're awesome. Love your channel. And thanks, Craven, for another stream. Good evening. Yeah, same to you, Jason. Thanks for being here,
Jason.
man. Yeah. We appreciate it. Drown Boy says the video's no longer up, but it was a very special moment. It had to be that's incredible. That's one you're never gonna forget. That's an impact moment for sure.
Yeah.
Caden says it's a great stream, Craven and Nate. Thanks. Definitely need to do this again. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Hardin says this stream has blew me away. Nice one, lads. Much love and respect to you both. Thanks, Hardin.
Thank you.
Believe me, I've been blown away too. Trust me. I'm with you. It's been amazing. All right. Well, guys, we're going to call it a night here again. We're at an hour and a half now. We're going to be respectful for Nate because I want him to come back. And so I'm
always ready to come back.
I appreciate that so much, man. And you never know, guys. Nate may just pop up on a live stream. He does it fairly often. He'll just pop up in the chat out of nowhere, and like there he is. So you just never know. Stay tuned. But I will definitely will be talking to him about coming back, maybe even in August for West Craven Celebration Month. That would be a nice thing to do, to have you back,
Yeah,
maybe for a watch party if you'd be up for something like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we could watch a Scream movie of your choice and just celebrate the movie, man. Just celebrate it, and you can fill us in on little tidbits as we're watching the movie that I know that that could open up our vision even more. Um, and real quick, before we head out, I see we got a last minute super chat from Ronan. Hey, what's up, Ronan? Sends a $2 super chat for the channel. And I know I don't see a comment, Ronan. So if you have one, you can put it real quickly in the chat, and I'll wait. We'll wait just a second for that,
Yeah, for sure.
just in case. Otherwise, I'll take that as just you putting a couple of bucks in the tip jar for us tonight. And I really appreciate that. It helps out the channel a lot. Okay, says see you for cursed. Okay, buddy. Well, thanks for your super chat, man. It's very kind of you to support the channel. Nate, I'm going to see you backstage in just a minute, and we'll say goodbye there.
Perfect.
But for everyone in the chat, make sure and show your love to Nate. Go check out his channel at Ragon Productions. I have a link for it in the description of the live stream. So right now, just scroll down to the description, and you'll go right there. You click it. Go subscribe to Nate's channel. He's got some really cool videos. He's sourced, and we didn't get to talk about this, man. Next time, we'll save it. But he sourced the actual boot that was worn in Scream 1, which is so cool, dude. I saw that video.
That's going to be a good story for the next one.
It is, man.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that one, guys. He actually did the heavy lifting and figured it out. So he knows, he can actually tell you the manufacturer and everything of that original Ghostface boot. And you even did the Scream 6 boot, right? Didn't you, Nate? Or am I wrong on
We
that?
figured out all of them, 1 through 6. Yep.
Oh my gosh, man. So if you guys out there are trying to be authentic for your cosplay or what have you, and you want to, he will actually be able to share the actual manufacturer and style of boot or shoe, however you want to call it, that Ghostface wore in every movie, which is, man, nobody puts in that kind of work but Nate Ragon. That's the heavy, and that's why Nate is where he's at, because he does that heavy lifting. He's relentless at it, and he's a great guy. You add all that together, and you have someone who's just knows his stuff, and everyone knows him and wants him to be involved because of it. So, Nate, my hat's off to you, man. I think that's quite an accomplishment what you've done, and what you're still doing. You're not done yet. You're not retiring. You're still on the you're on the hunt. So you're still working. So I can't wait to see what's next. And by the way, tell us real quick, what is next for Nate? Do you have some stuff on the that you can share that you are working on, or in projects, or you working with Anthony on anything new coming up, or you got any just anything you want to share?
Obviously, always have new videos coming out on my channel. As far as working with Anthony, what I can say is there will be a very big announcement within the next 3 days.
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, that's a tease. All right.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Dude, okay. And can I just ask you one question? If you can't answer it, it's okay. Is it safe to say or to assume that it's Scream related, or no? Is it Scream related, or is it something different? Or if you can't answer it, don't.
You could say that. You could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair. Awesome.
Absolutely.
And you'll make the announcement on your channel, right? Is that on your okay? So guys, be sure you subscribe. Again, don't leave without going to the description. Click the link, because you don't want to miss what Nate. You guys see what Nate's got, man. He's got the inside scoop. Go and subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you'll get that notification whenever he posts the video of the major update. And I'm dying. I don't even know what it is, so I'm excited to find out. So guys, go and do that. Thank you all for being here. This was such a fun night. Nate, again, I'll see you in just a sec.
All right.
But for everybody else, you guys were awesome. Thank you for your super chats, for your questions. And I will see you all. Hopefully, we're going to go watch Curse here in just a little bit. So if you haven't seen the link, head on over. It's on the channel. We're going to go watch Wes Craven's Cursed to finish the night. And I hope to see you all over there. All right. All right, guys. See you shortly and take care. Good night, guys. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, you have been watching Craven Something Scary. This is Lee Waddell, the original Ghostface, thanking you for stopping by and checking it out.